So some more typical things, again, looking at search and personally. So, you were noticing the emotions and also noticing the impact. And so some even very tangible ways could be body language, tone, because if I'm talking to you like this, because I've just got that really negative thing, you're not going to do that in an interview because you'll probably rally, but you might do that in networking. And so you really have to watch that seeping in during interviews. You might think you're putting your game day face on, but it really is, could still come out. So I love this. I saw a quote on a poster one day that has stuck with me as my job search mantra. No job belongs to you. Interesting. Yeah, I love that mantra. We're going to talk about a mantra, whatever you want to say to yourself, to either help you cope or get perspective. Repelling contacts, if you are negative, do you think that person's going to want to refer you to somebody to talk to? Obviously, you have to vent your emotions, but try to have a smaller, safe group to do that with. Lethargy and procrastination. And then unhealthy personally, it can affect your family. It can be unhealthy eating, substance abuse, sleep, memory lapses, difficult concentrating, and relationship issues. And won't all of these things, if any of these happen, they'll affect your job search itself. So there actually are some couple things I want to share about positives and negatives related to emotions. Feelings could be a good source of information. When you're on that interview and you just get this feeling at the pit of your stomach, like that red flag that something's wrong. So feelings have that positive use for you. Sometimes the feeling of stress can be motivating, and that can be positive, but it's not always motivating. As a matter of fact, there was a study from HR management group, and it talked about that stress is motivating for people who already have a good self-image. So you will produce more, but if you don't have a good self-image, then that could be more negative, if you will. But you can control a little bit of your sense of self, and say practicing during interviewing could have a better sense of yourself. Networking, where someone says, yeah, you've got a good background. That's a good choice. You should be able to go for that. That can help your sense of self as well. So some typical negatives, obviously we talked about, you have to feel your emotions. You don't want to avoid them. You don't want to suppress them. And then we always hear about ruminating. And I always think of this as a negative ruminating. Oh, I'm never going to get that job. I'm going to live under a bridge, whatever. I mean, things like that our worst selves, negative gremlins, can say to ourselves. But ruminating could also be a problem positively. I thought this was interesting. So you may be so excited about that job that you imagine yourself in the office, and you imagine yourself going there, and maybe you keep thinking about that job so much you stop doing other things. And so that could be a negative ruminating that you think is sort of positive. But I always like to balance that with visualizing, because I think visualizing is a good technique to have.